I'm going to show you a really good remedy if you're losing your eyelashes, okay? And you want to build strong eyelashes. I want to first define the derivation of a word, alopecia, which comes from the Greek word, which means fox. Apparently, the ancient Greek foxes often lost their hair due to mange, okay? Now, mange is a condition where you have these mites, okay? They're microorganisms that are affecting the hair growth. So if a fox has mange, they have these patches of hair loss, okay? And that comes from a mite. Now, on our bodies, we also have mites that live within our friendly bacteria, okay? They're called commensal organisms, which means they don't hurt us. They don't help us. They're kind of neutral. The word commensal comes from, if I'm not mistaken, drinking from the same dish. And so basically we have this diversified microorganism mixture of all sorts of things. We have bacteria, we have yeast, we have fungus, and apparently we have some mites, okay? And they don't bother us unless the condition changes where you start getting an overgrowth of these mites. And it just so happens they live in the hair follicle, and they also live on your skin. And so if they're in the hair follicle and they're hungry, they're going to eat your hair, okay? Because they also eat dead skin cells. And apparently the greatest concentration of this mite is in your eyelashes. Also, if there's an overgrowth on your skin, you're going to get either rosacea, okay, which is like a redness of the cheeks. There's like 18 times more of this microorganism in rosacea than there is in normal skin. And the name of this microorganism is called Demodex. And this mite is also known to cause alopecia, but not in every situation. But they did an interesting study on Rogaine, which is the main medication for alopecia, and found that it worked better when they added the remedy I'm going to recommend for these mites, which is tea tree oil. In fact, the medication that they use when you lose your eyelashes would be Urax, ivermectin, and Flagyl. What do all of these have in common? They kill this mite. Okay, so it's another clue that this condition is coming from a microorganism. So what would be the remedy? Well, I want to recommend two things which are very powerful. One is tea tree oil, and the other is castor oil. Both of these are antimicrobial, and both of these will kill this mite. Now, there's a couple things you need to know about this. Tea tree oil is very, very concentrated, and it can irritate your eyes. So you don't want to get this oil into your eyes. What you want to do is you want to use like 2 drops of tea tree oil, okay, in a tablespoon of castor oil. Now, castor oil also can irritate the eyes. So again, you don't want to just start dumping this stuff in your eyes. And you can either get a cotton ball swab or a Q-tip and very gingerly and gently put a little bit on the roots of the upper eyelash, okay? Just a little bit on there before you go to bed. And then you're going to let that sit all night long and do its job. And then you're going to apply it every other day for 6 weeks. Because what's happening, you're not only going to kill these mites, but you want to kill the eggs and make sure they don't come back. The advantage of this remedy is that there's very minimal side effects compared to this remedy right here. And of course, check with your doctor before applying any of this information. Now, if you happen to have rosacea, this next video is for you. Check it out. I put it right here.